can you answer me this? Do cats get separation anxiety? Have you ever worked with any cats, or is this just a dog thing?
Oh, no. I mean, I think any animal that forms a bond, doesn't matter what breed, doesn't matter what species, nothing, will be prone to feeling like they are missing something when that thing isn't there anymore. So I would say that that's perfectly natural, and some species, like if you were talking about companion animals, then obviously you're going to think, well, that's more likely. So we all, I'm sure, have experience of cats that have just been so loving and so all over us, and they don't like not having that. So I think it makes sense to assume that there are some that would just really not enjoy it. But in a lot of ways, we see cats as, they're not little dogs, they are a different species, and they are more solitary in general, and they're not obliged to be part of a social group necessarily to be happy, which is why sometimes people will get another cat to keep their existing cat company, and their existing cat is like, no, I like my space, I like my territory. What are you now? We've got an intruder. So it's not the same assumption, is what I'm trying to say. I think I would be very aware. Like, I've got a cat and I've got 4 dogs, and they all get on fine, but my cat can access places my dog cannot, and he likes that freedom. And if I brought in another cat, I think he would really not enjoy having to share his space. So it's not a company thing, it's more about, do they need it? Well, as a species, we don't think that they do, but there'll always be ones that like it. There's always be ones, outliers, that kind of go, no, I really like people around, or I really like company, or no, I really don't. But generally, it's important not to assume that they're all the same as dogs, because cats and dogs aren't the same. Obviously they're different species altogether.
Yeah, that's so much you just said there that's really quite interesting. And I think it's kitchen logic, isn't it, that people, let's say, for example, that they had a cat, and from a human's perspective, they may feel, oh, I'm at work a lot, I think my cat needs company, let's get another cat. I mean, first of all, is it correct that the cat needs company in the first place? Probably not, in an animal form. But if that cat does need company, it may not be the right thing for that cat to have another cat as company. It might be something, a dog may be better, and that just goes against our commonsensical minds, doesn't it? Because you think, well, cat won't like the dog, but maybe if the dog is not able to get to the surfaces that you're talking about, it might not be as intrusive as another cat that could follow that cat up on high surface.
Yeah, I mean, I've never happily never advised anyone get a dog instead of another cat. I've never done that, and I would be really cautious about doing that, because some cats do not appreciate having a dog around either, and we just happen to be fortunate in our household that we've introduced them when they were very young, and they just kind of family, so that doesn't always happen. And I think that dogs could predate quite quickly on a cat if you're not careful and chase the cat, and that causes an enormous amount of stress for the cat in the household. So I wouldn't necessarily assume that getting a dog would be a better option. But what I'm trying to say, I think, is that generally as a species, it's not a huge requirement that they have social contact with other cats particularly, but it doesn't mean to say that they aren't good companions for us and that they don't benefit from that interaction, because yes, we're pretty sure that they do, but I think it's more about having choices for the animal. And if we're just bringing in more and more animals, they don't have those choices and they don't have that option, when maybe that wouldn't be the option that they would choose for themselves.